We actually surveyed, these 1,000 people around like this digital transformation for work and what COVID has kind of done, whether it's accelerated it, whether it's pushed for more digital transformation within their departments. And what we actually found was 66%, so 2/3 of our respondents actually said that they are now using a CMMS, a digital work order management solution, which is up from last year to track, maintenance, reliability, work orders, parts, inventory, and all of their assets. What are some trends that you guys think will happen with this digital transformation for work and maintenance and reliability more specifically?
The problem is a lot of times when we're using the CMMS, we're not using it the right way. What year is this? I mean, come on. We're not using the CMMS. In 1980, the company I worked for had a first fully integrated maintenance software in the world. The CMMS isn't the problem. The problem is people are not either implementing it correctly or not utilizing it, which is probably the highest percent. They're not using it correctly.
Of course, like technology is going to increase, right? Like this is the nature of the world. And even like COVID pushed a change on a lot of companies, right? Like you couldn't do some of the practices. Like I don't go to work anymore, right? Like I stay home and work. So if I can't access the CMMS, then like I can't be as effective as I could be. We all have cell phones now and we didn't 30 years ago. So I don't think it's that surprising to me. I think more adoption in terms of IoT solutions as well. And again, it's what Ricky said is completely right. It's not the solutions themselves work. It's more the people aspect around it. And I think that's the piece that's hugely lacking in our industry is change management and leadership around the implementation of all these things. And it doesn't just talk about technology, RCM, RCA, like all those predictive maintenance programs, it's all the same stuff. Like it boils down to how are you doing change management? What's your leadership looking like? And how are you actually like closing the loop? Our results aren't incredible, right? We have all this knowledge and yet we're not getting incredible results.
In any change, or let's call it like digital transformation as we talk about that, there's two main components. There's people and there's technology. Where do you think the bottleneck is right now as it stands in 2021? Do you think that it's more of a people problem or is it a technology advancement that we need to make?
I think it's a people problem. I think it's probably like 95-5 or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Upkeep software works. There's no debate that it doesn't work. And yet there are customers that you have that are not effectively executing maintenance.
You hear that all the time. I mean, our maintenance software doesn't work. Well, why doesn't it work? Well, it just doesn't work. You can blame it on a lot of things, but it comes down to the human implementing it correctly, which is not typically a problem. Typically, the problem is people not using it.
Maybe the flip side to that, and just to challenge this a little bit, is that people don't use technology because what we found in the market is that technology for this industry is oftentimes very bad. It's difficult to use. We think that there's a big disconnect between what a lot of technology providers build versus what's actually usable. Maybe it's a little bit evened out, maybe 80-20, Rob. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Like I've used a bunch of bad reliability softwares and stuff, but people talk to me now about the IoT and these AI solutions that they detect vibration failures and stuff. They wonder why they don't get results from those. It comes down to the people aspects. Like if I can detect a failure 6 months in advance, it doesn't change anything if I don't actually take an action and order the replacement or go out and fix it or do any of these things, right? People are using that to just watch their equipment fail and then worry about it when it breaks. And I think that's the issue, right? It comes back to how are you showing up at your site? What are you actually building in terms of proactivity? And it's people and leadership for me.
The problem is like we use PDM. So identify a large horsepower motor, it's a critical asset, critical component, and it's going to fail because we got a bearing fault. Okay, the bearing fault's not going to go away. It's going to get worse, and it's going to fail randomly. What we should do, and what most companies don't do, is just go ahead and plan the job. We may not schedule it now, but we need to go ahead and plan it. Just in case it does fail, we've got the part, we've got the material, we got the procedure, we got everything ready. All we got to do is say, okay, the motor is down. We didn't make it to the down day. So we just pull it out and we replace it. We do it right. We're not in a hurry because they know when someone says, how long is it going to take? we've already scoped the job. It's going to take 4 hours. 4 hours. My gosh, last time you did it too. That's right. That's why we're back to the same problem again, the same asset.